Hey folks, this is Rhykker with a vlog style video about my personal life. So this is not going to be a news video. This is not going to be a video with any kind of information on video games or the gaming industry. No guide video, nothing like that. This is purely personal stuff. So if you're not here for that, if you're here for any kind of information, you can pass on this video. This is just going to be again, kind of a personal vlog over here. And I'm not going to edit this either, so it's going to be long and rambling, and you're going to see why my regular content is so heavily edited. I normally do not make this kind of content. I normally am a pretty private person about my personal life, but I wanted to make this video for three reasons. The first, to explain why there was no news video last Saturday, as well as why I might seem a little off for some time. Also, why I haven't been streaming and why it might be a little bit before I get back to regular streaming. Second reason being sort of, I don't know, therapeutic shouting into the void. Third reason, being that I wanted to introduce you folks to this man. This great man. Nick Miosi, my father, who passed away on May 7th. Very suddenly. Aortic dissection is the medical term for what happened. Basically, the aorta is the major artery in the heart, and it could just tear. That's just a thing that can happen, apparently. No preconditions, no signs before it happened. Just it was in, perfect health. Asterisk. That morning, around noon, he started to get a weird pulsing pain in his upper chest. At supper time, he fainted. My mom called 911 right away, and ambulance came. The first responders were wonderful. He was rushed. At first, he's being rushed to the hospital, then they redirected. I guess as they started to see what was going on, they redirected him immediately to the Cardiology Institute, the best place they could have possibly taken him for that kind of problem. Prepping him for emergency surgery, and within 2 hours of the time he fainted, he was gone. Didn't make it to the operating table, but honestly, even if he had, the surgery would have taken 4 to 8 hours, and it would have been the same outcome. So it was a huge shock. He was only 66 years old. Didn't even get to retire. Worked hard all his life. It was a big shock to everyone, especially to my mom and myself. It's like in the movies when this row of 5 doctors comes in looking somber, and my mom just broke down. We knew that wasn't going to be good news. The three of us were very close throughout my entire life. For my mom, she was married to him for 40 years and with him for several years before that. Yeah, so it's been a struggle. to deal with the fallout and just to process everything. Those of you who come by my Twitch streams know that I'll talk about my parents now and again, and I say that that I have the best parents, and I know a lot of people say that, but at the end of the day, you know, someone in the world does have to actually have the best parents, and I'm sorry, but that is me. Not to brag, but I have the best parents. So yeah, he's gone, and it's a little difficult to grasp that concept, but you know, life goes on, I guess. So I guess that covers reasons 1 and 2. Reason 3 that I wanted to introduce you folks to my dad is, I guess because I would like it that if you care about me, that you care about him, even in some small way, because believe it or not, he cared about you folks. He would watch the videos every Saturday. Not the Diablo guides, that was too granular, but you know, the news videos every week, he would watch them as part of his Saturday routine. And he would read all your comments. He would read all the comments, at least in the first couple of days. I don't think he'd check back like weeks later to read extra comments, but as they were coming in, he'd read them all. You know, keep me informed of certain like repeated comments and stuff that he was seeing a lot. And he always told me, he'd tell me, Siege, you know, these are your followers, these are your subscribers. You have a responsibility to these people. And he didn't mean it in a burdensome way. No, he's just a man who took responsibility very seriously. Yeah. And it's funny, just a couple, I don't know, weeks, months ago, he was like, you know, Siege, you should make another lore video. I don't think he even knew what the lore videos were, but he kept seeing people saying, hey, you know, when's the next lore video gonna be? So, all right, Dad, I know, I gotta make another lore video. He'd also, you know, say, you know, you have some followers in, you know, in Montreal, and like we're from Montreal. It's like, you know, throw in a little something for them now and then, you know, just a little word here and there. And on that week, on my May 7th video, I actually, you know, because it was appropriate for the topic, I was talking about a Montreal dev, I believe. I threw in you know, a line or two in French, in Québécois. I don't think he got to see that one. Anyway. In many ways, this channel exists because of my dad. I mean, obviously, I wouldn't exist without my dad, but my dad's who got me into video games. My dad was a gamer before me. Well, he was a gamer. He loved computers. He was so into tech. He always had the latest gadget, the latest, you know, he went through the 286, the 386, the 486, the whatever things came before. I'm sure a lot of you folks could relate more, you know, and he always loved talking about all that stuff, how he, you know, used to play the text adventures and then the VGA graphics, the super VGA graphics. He could talk for hours about that stuff. I'm sure he would have loved to talk about that stuff to you folks. But yeah, I guess to him, he played games, but I think the games are more just, well, what else do I do with a computer other than play games? Like, why else do I need to upgrade my computer than to get the latest graphics for the latest games? And he was always on top of that with the modems as well, 28K, 56K. Up until I hit adolescence and kind of took over the computer. Sorry, Dad. It was his baby, and he was always super on top of that. And, you know, he introduced me to Diablo. Who knows when or if I would have ever come to gaming or Diablo if it wasn't for him. I mean, that's how I bonded with my dad. He For the first 10 years of my life, he had a 60-hour shift, 40 hours of work, and then another at least 20 hours, if not more, of school. He was a sole provider. My mom was, full-time mom and housewife, only because she has health issues, and so she can't, like, there are a few jobs that'll let someone, rest for 30 minutes because they literally can't stand anymore. So my mom took care of the house and me, and my dad had to provide for all of us. An only child, so but still, he had to provide for himself, myself, my mom. So full-time work plus going to school to get his diploma. And it was starting when I was 8 years old that we would like sneak little moments at night, and I would like come watch him as he would like be on the computer, and that's how we bonded. And it was when I was 10 years old that my mom basically, was like, you've missed like your son's childhood. Like, you got to make a choice here. And, for my dad, like duty and service to being a father and to being a husband was very important. I mean, in all aspects of his life in general, but he reached an impasse where it's like, well, I'm doing this, I'm like exhausting myself, I'm killing myself in order to be able to provide for my family, but by the same token, yeah, I'm like, I barely have any time to spend with my family because of that. So he ended up just stopping the courses, and he managed to find employment that worked out, but it's a hard position to be in. And I know that he kind of felt bad about it. I never held it against him that he wasn't able to be there as much when I was growing up, but he more than made up for it after. We became best friends. Just like we liked all the same stuff, so we would like watch movies together. We would just share everything. And yeah, I don't want to make this too long, I guess, but I know he would have liked to. We were talking about the idea of him like coming on for a video, like we can kind of do like an interview where I would bring him here in the office with me and could like interview him about like the old school of gaming and all that stuff that he loved to talk about. Gosh, he had like the biggest collection of, well, so he stopped around the CD era of games, to give you some ballpark. And he had like a huge collection of cassettes and floppies. He ended up throwing them all out. I'm like, these could be worth lots of money. He's like, Siege, I can't be bothered. Like, we didn't have any technology that could run those anymore. And, like to bother to sell them on eBay, he just couldn't be bothered. To me, it's a shame. I would have wanted to take them off of his hands to do it. I'll try to see if he has any saved somewhere, but lots of stuff just got trashed, unfortunately. But yeah, and I know he would have wanted to come on and would have had a nice made a nice video of it. Just thought we had more time, I mean, I guess that's that. I went up to his study, his library, giant collection of books, and I found he had on his desk by his computer, kept a stack of Rhykker business cards right there on his desk. he was one of you. He was a fellow Raider. He custom printed his own Raider banner. The Raider banner there that I have in the background, right? I've made a number of those over the years. But the one that comes up, you know, about 4.5 minutes into every video, I have the pop-up. I don't know if you folks notice, with the sword and the banner coming down and it waves in the wind. He wanted one of those. And he's like, you know, can you like make me one? And I'm like, yeah, okay, you know, like it's like I'm just kind of like, okay, Dad, you know, like stop being silly, kind of thing. And he saw that, like, he kept following up every few weeks or so, and I wasn't moving on it. So he's like, okay, just send me, like, I know you're busy, just send me the image, like, I know a guy, and I'll have him, like, print me one. And he actually got a custom print with the cutouts. Not just as, like, a square, like, he actually had the print guy, like, cut out, like, a tattered texture on the banner. He also wanted to get a sword and hang it from a sword, but we were kind of having logistical issues with figuring that out. And my mom was like, I don't want a sword like in the middle of the house. But yeah. I mean, that's that. I'm immensely fortunate to have wonderfully supportive family and friends, so it has been very helpful throughout this whole process. And I know a number of you have been sending encouraging words as well, suspecting something's up, and I do appreciate it. But yeah, so that's my dad. I miss him every day. And I don't really know how to end this video, so I guess that's about it.